I have a bunch of curious things. Let's see what Storyteller tells us about them. I had gathered them on my journey. I don't know if they are worth something, money or story. We'll see. I found the shards of an ancient artifact. Can you restore it for me at the anvil? May I? The storyteller gently touches the item from your pack. This scorched piece of metal is a part of a curious artifact known as the Necklace of Double Crosses. Inside it I sense a story of many deeds, not heroic, but low and maleficent. If you find all 7 of its fragments, I will be able to restore the artifact and recount its inglorious story. So 7 of them. I've brought some relics. Are any worth of a story? How interesting. May I, your grace? A coin from a non-existent country. When Coral the Conqueror mastered Roseland, having claimed it for Brevoy, he prohibited the issuance and the use of such coins. Both ordinary folk and Theodorus warlords were required to use new coins, decorated with Coral's profile. But no one was quick to be rid of these prohibited coins. Oh no, in many houses they still store boxes and a whole chest of such coins, waiting for the day when Roseland declares its independence. 3,000. That's few. Coral the Conqueror. Coral Rogravia. Coral Rogravia, or as he became to be known, Coral the Conqueror, invaded the area that would become modern-day Brevoy in 4499 AR, destroying all who opposed him with the aid of fire-breathing dragons. Ow. Coral disappeared around 4509 AR, leaving his descendants to rule Brevoy from their dragon-scale throne at the Ruby Fortress in New Stetven. For exactly 200 years from his conquest, every member of the noble house disappeared in 4699 AR. Interesting. The storyteller finger caress the symbol shaped like a tree leaf. And what is this? I hear the voices of trees, smell the scent of fresh leaves. A dryad mark, is it not? I would be happy to purchase it from you. What was the name of the Coloran ruler who issued this coin? Does anyone remember now? What did the Cyclops use it to purchase? Food? Books? Weapons? Perhaps someone's life or their freedom? Who can say? Its history was erased by the Earthfall, but I will buy it from you for significantly more than it was worth in its own time. Gold coins 400. Earthfall. Earthfall is the name given to the cataclysm event in which a swarm of meteorites impacted Golarion in minus 5293 AR, that being before the AR. It resulted in the destruction of the human empires of Thassilon and Aslan, which were consumed by earthquakes and massive tidal waves, and the creation of the Inner Sea. The cloud of dust thrown up by the Earthfall's impact settled in Golarion's upper atmosphere and blotted out the sun for 1000 years, creating the Age of Darkness. How are the humans still alive? Don't ask, it's magic. The storyteller weighs the soldier's stack in his palm. A soldier does not ask where the banners of war are headed. He or she goes to battle, dies, and leaves it to others to decide whether the cause was just. This stack belonged to one of the many warriors who helped establish the glory of the Teldan Empire. If you would permit me, I would gladly purchase it from you. Teldan warrior dog tag. That is good. The belongings of the brave heroes who performed their feasts here before you. I sense you would be interested to hear their story, but there are too few of them here for me to recount it yet. Please find all 5 of them. I am sure you won't regret the time you spent in the search. Related to what now? Till we meet again. What? Oh, these are the scorched fragments of necklace. Lord's broken charm, and these must be fine. Let's get back to it. Let's store them all here. It's an extra way. Tell us, O teacher, why would Prevoy call us barbarians in the books you give us? The gods became angry with our homeland, my son. This land has devoured so many great empires, as if it was unwilling to bear life. There are centuries-old ruins around our settlement. They were ravaged by a star that fell from the sky. The kingdom of the Cyclopses was the first victim of its curse. New settlers claimed this land 10 centuries later to establish a beautiful country named Iobaria, which stretched from the Lake of Mist to Vales of the Castrovin Sea. But the curse still lay upon these lands, and trouble came once again. Our ancestors suffered numerous maladies: tree plague, the tear plague, the jar death, the choking death, one after another, leaving only pain behind. People say that Otip the necromancer was to blame, but who knows? A great civilization was turned to dust. This is why I am teaching you. Refoy shouldn't make fun of you or call you barbarians. Guide for Travelers, Hunters and Explorers of the River Kingdom, Volume 5, Monsters and Beasts. Will-o-wisp, an amusing glowing ball, which looks harmless and doesn't arouse any natural suspicion, pretends to be a guiding light in the marshes, but leads travelers to certain death. The agonizing fear of their victims is the monster's nourishing dinner. If you manage to resist their tricks, make sure you have some electrical protection. The monster electrocutes any visitors it fails to lure into terror. Nice things. Werewolf. Werewolves prefer to hunt in groups, that's a problem, and attack lone travelers. It's entirely possible that the Varisian camp or troop could turn into a pack of bloodthirsty lycanthropes under cover of darkness. Ordinary weapons stand little chance against them, but a silver blade greatly increases your chances of survival. Primals. Powerful creatures of the primal realm occasionally visit this world for amusement. It's best to stay out of Primal's way, don't fight it, it's extremely dangerous, but if a life is at stake, resort to cold steel. Good to know. This one. Book in Almanac of the Inner Sea by Jubilost Natrapple. It is perhaps Avistan's most popular dish. It is perhaps Avistan's most popular dish in the capital of Cheliax. It is baked in a cheese crust and sprinkled with lemon juice. The local fishermen use a different cooking method in Quadria, which is on the opposite end of Avistan. There you will find it, finely chopped and mixed cold ingredients. The exact origin of the dish remains unknown, but is generally believed to have been invented in Andorran and spread around the globe by seafarers and pilgrims. It's served as plain pâté in its most basic version. To prepare it, soak the herring in spiced marinade, then mince it into a spreadable paste. Add musset tart, green apple, hard-boiled quail eggs, the freshest butter you can find, and half an onion. The list of ingredients may vary in the inland regions. In the regions of Irmathas, beef or lamb is used for this snack. I once tasted a highly original and equally highly disgusting version of Kuget with milk and mushrooms on the border of Druma. Right? Interesting. Prodigal Sons. It's done, I said. Milligan studied me with narrowed eyes. You look awfully clean, he said. Where's the knife? In answer, the first shouts went up from the inn. Fire! Screamed Ilna, and then the other voices joined hers. In an instant, Milligan's entrepreneurial instinct took over, and he sprang for the door, tossing the crossbow aside. Outside the roof of the inn was already smoking oily black against the sunset, aim licking through the tacking in places. With a scream of pain, Milligan ran for the creek. I looked to Farragus. Needing no further clue, we each grabbed up an armful of supplies and sprinted off in the opposite direction. Well, that was very polite of you. After 10 minutes of leaped brambles and ducked branches, we stopped to catch our breath. Back the way we'd come, the smoke was still visible, though the sound had faded to just the faint and frantic pealing of a church bell. That was close, Farragus said, leaning against a tree and breathing hard. Agreed, I puffed, staring down at the cloak full of bread that now made up our sole possessions. Then the sound of the bell reminded me of something. About what you said back there, I asked. You said Shellin. I thought you were a priest of Desna. Farragus grunted. A man's fate is a personal thing, he said, tying the cloak. Now shut up and keep running. And we did.